Jamie Forsythe.
I want to thank the County Commission for giving me the opportunity to stand here before y'all and speak. It's an honor to be here. Thank the community of Cleburne County for giving me the opportunity to be here as well. I'm also concerned about the wind turbines. I'm a lifelong resident of Cleburne County. I've been here my whole life. I share an interest, involvement in the wind turbine industry. I just found out about it a couple of weeks ago, max. Didn't know anything about it. I'm out there working every day. I don't know why I didn't know about it. Maybe I just didn't pay attention to what was going on. But a lot of us people here in Cleburne County are busy with our everyday lives and we're working, and we really don't pay attention to some of the things that's going on. We leave a lot of our confidence in our county leadership to make sure everything's going to be okay. What I want to touch on is similar to what Ms. Doggett touched on, is what I'm seeing out there as an individual of what could happen here is we've got a tremendous amount of problems that could occur from the windmills being installed in our areas. I don't know if we've done enough research. The people needs to see on paper some research that their health is going to be protected. I need to see on paper, because it's my responsibility as a citizen to watch after my neighbors and love my neighbors. It says in the Holy Bible, you love your neighbors, you love yourself. We can't put anything on the mountain that's going to cause health problems to people later on down the road. No commissioner, no one in this room has any experience whatsoever in Cleburne County with a wind turbine on top of Turkey Heavy Mountain. We have no idea what the consequences could be after installing them until they're up. There's noise that can be put out by these wind turbines silently that can cause health problems, birth defects, absolutely run the wildlife off. I've been over every square inch of that mountain growing up. There's caves on that mountain. There's wildlife living on that mountain that doesn't live anywhere else in this county. That wildlife could feel the vibrations from those wind turbines. When we dig down the bedrock and the vibrations coming off those wind turbines could send wildlife fleeing. I'm begging the county commission, I'm begging y'all with my heart, everything I got in me, do not let this come to Cleburne County. We don't need this. When this gets to Cleburne County, when this gets, it's going to be like the mark of the beast. It's going up on Cheehaw. It can go up in Borden Springs with no regulations. Look what we're doing to ourselves, people. I'm begging the commission, with God Almighty as my strength, I'm sitting here begging y'all, do not allow this to come in our county, please.
Mr. Greg Dennis.
Commissioner, thank you for the opportunity to speak. While I share many of the same concerns of the other folks who will be speaking today, I'd like to specifically address the issue from a farmer. Our farm's at the intersection of County Road 852 and Red Hollow Road, County Road 41 in Sunnyvale. So we're sitting at the foot of Turkey Heaven Mountain, about 2 miles crow flies from the proposed site. As you all know, agriculture is an incredibly important economic aspect of Cleburne County. And the poultry industry and the cattle industry are at the top of the pie. There's an overwhelming amount of data being collected on various sites around the world about the low-frequency vibrations and how they affect farm animals, livestock, and poultry both. Poultry seem to be the most sensitive to the low-frequency vibration, and hens in the area of windmills are laying yolkless eggs and shellless eggs, which kills the chicken. For any of you who are aware of the poultry industry, we have broilers. We grow broilers for Pilgrim's Pride on our farm. It's an incredibly competitive business. If my chickens in any way are disturbed, stressed by these vibrations, there's no way I, nor Tracy Mobley down the road, or any of our other neighbors are going to be able to compete with somebody 10 miles away. We also have cattle and pigs and sheep on our farm. Livestock have dissimilar but same seriousness of ailments. Mortality is gone up. Dairy farmers have experienced a 30% reduction in milk, and even if you're a cow-calf operator, if your mamas are milking 30% less, you know your weaning weights are going to be way off. In addition, there's stillborn calves, there's miscarriages, birth deformities. This is something we don't want to rush into. Farming is an important part of life here in the county. Too often in life, folks get in a big rush to get something done, and then after it's done, they look back and say, gosh, how could we have done such a thing? And I'm afraid that's exactly what the county's heading to do now. So what I'm imploring you to do is take a deep breath, step back from this. Let's look at it from a much broader perspective than the narrow perspective of running off to Montgomery. Thank you.
Next we have Mr. Rodney McNicky. Rodney, I thought you ran for him, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you can hold off Minister Button for a few seconds.
Okay.
My name's Rodney McNicky, and I've been a resident of Cleburne County since 1995. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and I own 2 businesses here, one of which is a farm. When my former employer relocated, I chose to leave a good paying job and a 16-year career and stay here because I like the people, this area, and my home. After discovering the wind farms run regulated on our state, and realizing this particular wind farm would be the beginning of dozens across the county, I reached out to our senator for assistance and asked him if we be included in the state's regulations. And after the response that I got back, it was clear that there was a push to push this one particular project through and not to protect the entire county. I reached out to the people at that point and started asking around who knew about this. Most of the people came back to me and said that we didn't know about the project, and we thought that we were covered under regulations against our state. So then, but a good deal of the people said, we're not bothered with the projects that won't hurt us. Until I asked the question, how many more? Where are those going to be? How close was your home or the next one we built? And will your property value be affected? And will there be any advance notification, or will you just simply notice that there are going to be any construction? Mr. Brooks, when you were running for office, you came by my house. And one of the key points that made me vote for you was the fact that you told me that it was more important to you to do exactly what the citizens of your district wanted you to do than for what you wanted to do. And I know that's important to you. And because I know it's important to you, when I talked to you on the phone, you said you were a busy man. And I know that you haven't had much of a chance to get in here and take a look at this and to know exactly what is going on, what these are. You indicated to me on the phone that farmers have been building windmills for hundreds of years. And I know that you are a busy man because you hadn't had a chance to do exactly what we all started doing a couple of weeks ago, and that is understand what these are. You know, as a citizen of your district, I've probably not provided you with the adequate support that I should have. Not been involved as many of us have. But we want to do that. We ask the same thing. When we step back, take a look at this and see what we can do to implement some type of regulations that would control this or at minimum future building of anything like this in our county. You know, one of the things that if you sell the citizens in on this, it's very easy to get the people to stand behind this if it's good. You know, we all know that you do not have to have lobbyists to sell ice water in the desert. So let us help you figure out if this is, let's help you all figure out if this is good. This is as good as it looks to the lobbyists. Thank you.
Mr. Mark Truitt.
I've got a small property that I was laying in just a moment. Emmett told me that he had made a trip. I was talking to him about my concerns. He said he made a trip and he took his iPad and recorded video and audio. And that's when I realized people didn't understand what infrasound was. This fancy decibel meter that reads sound levels will not pick up infrasound. This hand recorder that records bootleg concerts very well will not pick up infrasound. Infrasound is like infrared. Let me give y'all one of these. These are pitchforks. Infrasound is like infrared light. It's invisible to the ears like infrared light is invisible to your eyes. Infrasound is something that alligators, elephants, and other animals use to communicate. Elephant might make a rumbling sound, vocalize, it can be heard for a couple of kilometers. They can stomp their feet and contact an entire herd hundreds of kilometers away. So infrasound is very real, and people say that it affects the health of people that live nearby the wind farms. All kinds of diseases, like you already heard about, birth defects, all that sort of stuff. The way I think a lot of this happens is not transferred through the air like normal, like here in the windmill, but through vibrations through the ground. I want to demonstrate with this little pitchfork how that would work. If I can get it to work. You can't hear that, but when I touch this, you can hear it. And if that windmill is 150 foot or 500 foot, whatever it is, pitchfork, it's going to be very low pitched vibrations. They're going to transfer through the rock and into people's homes in the surrounding area. We don't know exactly how far. So I'd like to encourage you to consult with some geologists and some specialists and study this something before we allow this sort of thing to happen. I'm not going to debate whether or not the syndromes are real. We don't know for sure, but if you talk to the people that live there and have it, it's very real to them. So take that into consideration when you watch videos. And one video is a person that's being paid by the wind industry, and the other one is a real person that lives by a wind farm. You can figure out which one you might want to take most seriously. I'll ask the commission to, number one, let's slow down and talk about this some more. Number two, listen to everybody in the community. Consider hiring independent consultants and geologists to study the impact of the noise and such. And remember that you're going to be held accountable. You're the ones responsible for whatever happens, good or bad. Thank you very much.